Emma's Cold Day by Margriet, Ruurs, illustrated by Barbara Spurll. Emma sat inside the chicken coop with all the other chickens. She fitted on her nest like a lid on a cookie jar. As she began to snooze, Emma heard something strange. Her beak was chattering all by itself. Before long, Emma was shivering all over. She got up stiffly and stretched her skinny legs, trying to get warm. She hopped up and down, she flapped her wings, but nothing worked. The hen house was freezing. All the other chickens huddled on their nests. Their beaks were chattering too. "Talk!" said Emma. "This isn't good for chickens," and she set off to find a way to stay warm. Emma blinked as she stepped outside. The whole world was white. She picked her way across the barnyard. As Emma sank deep into the snow, she noticed the horse on his 4 long legs. He didn't seem bothered by the cold. Emma looked down at her own stubby legs. "Talk!" she said. "If my legs were longer, maybe I would be warm too." Emma fluttered onto the tall fence post, but it was covered with a puff of snow, and she slid right off. She took another flying leap, and this time she fell beak first into the snow. The horse watched, looking warm and shaking his head. Emma dusted herself off and plodded away. Near the barn, a flock of sheep stood, bundled in their warm, woolly coats. Emma tried ruffling her feathers and snuggling into her own coat, but her bottom stuck out. She wrapped her wings around herself, but they didn't reach far enough. Emma was still shivering. "Bah!" balked the sheep. "To-talk!" chattered Emma as she strutted off toward the barn. Inside, huge black and white cows crowded together, their steamy breath rising in clouds. "Moo!" the cows moaned as they munched on their hay. Maybe this was the way to stay warm. Emma crowded her way in between the warm cows. Crash! A huge hoof nearly flattened her, but Emma jumped out of the way. Swoosh! A tail almost knocked her into a cow pie. The long tongue of a jigsaw calf gave her a slimy, slobbery lick. "Talk!" cried Emma. This was worse than freezing. Carefully, she picked her way out of the barn and back into the cold. When Emma came to the pigsty, she peeked in. One huge boar was over by the slop trough. A long sow was stretched out in the mud. 10 tiny pink piglets were cuddled against her, grunting and sighing happily. Emma wasn't sure what they were doing, but they looked warm and cozy. Maybe she could be warm and cozy there too. Emma tiptoed through the muck and wriggled her way in between 2 piglets. "Eek!" they squealed as soon as they felt Emma's feathers against their stubby backs. "Hum!" grunted their mother as she spotted the intruder. "Hum!" snorted their father as he charged at Emma. "Talk!" shrieked Emma, and she ran from the pigsty back into the snow. Leaving muddy tracks, Emma trotted past the empty turkey pen. She trudged past the pond where the ducks, warm and content, stood sleeping on one leg. "Talk!" Emma stuttered. If only this was the way to stay warm. Slowly, she pulled up her right leg and plopped over into the snow. She scrambled to her feet and tried with her left leg. Plop! She fell over again. The ducks chuckled softly to themselves. Emma was very cold now. It was starting to get dark, too. Shaking from head to toe, she looked up and saw a wonderful sight. The windows of the farmhouse glowed with a warm golden light. Emma just managed to shiver her way over to the big spruce tree by the porch. She fluttered up into the branches to get a better look. Inside, the farmer, the farmer's wife, and the farmer's children were all safe and warm. The green branches of the spruce tree were like a giant nest. Emma was cold. Emma was tired. She snuggled into her feathers and settled down for a little nap. Snowflakes fell softly around her. Suddenly, Emma was wide awake. A strange green light glowed on the branch beside her. She blinked up at a blue bulb and a radiant red one above her head. There were lights everywhere, and all those lights were melting the snow away. Emma heard children's voices. "Mom! Dad! There's something in the tree!" "Is it a partridge in a pear tree?" joked the farmer. "No," answered the boy. "It's a chicken in a Christmas tree." "It's Emma," added the girl. "She's sitting underneath the Christmas lights." "Poor Emma," cooed the farmer's wife. "She's half frozen. Why ever would she leave her warm chicken coop?" "Oh, my goodness!" cried the farmer, hurrying away. "I forgot to switch on the heat lamps in the hen house." Emma could hear the clacking of cold beaks as she neared the chicken coop. Warmth was just beginning to fill the hen house when she appeared in the doorway. "You girls have Emma to thank," said the farmer. "Without her, you would have been pretty chilly chicks by morning." "Talk!" said Emma, feeling very proud of herself. The cold day was over. Emma settled down on her nest of straw and dozed happily off to sleep.